Hello, it's Dave Dunn here at FastFlow, and in this video we're going to be walking you through the process of setting up WordPress to use as a membership site. And there's a few settings we want to check, and then there's a few plugins we're going to add, and then we're just going to move on to actually creating the membership site itself. So as you can see here, we've got basically an empty WordPress site. This is using the new 2020 theme. This is version 5.3.2, I think, as of this video creation. So this is the latest WordPress, and this is the latest WordPress theme. Now, I haven't really explored this theme much, but it doesn't look too conducive for a membership site. So what I'm going to do is add a different theme, and we're going to just tweak a few settings as well. So if we go inside, we're just going to go to the dashboard, and there's a setting here. We want to make sure it's set as permalinks. Okay, so there may be a slim chance that it's set to plain, which would be a query string, and we don't want that to be what's happening. So we want to make sure it's set to post name. So post name is going to be the most effective for SEO and also for just general usability for your members. So basically any of the pages that you create on your site will be given the title here. Okay, so we're going to go with post name, and we're just going to make sure that's saved. Okay, so now we've dealt with the permalinks, we're actually going to look at the themes. So let's go to themes. So as you saw at the beginning of the video, there's a 2020 theme is active. We're actually going to go to add new, and we're going to search for a theme called Astra. Now there's plenty of themes out there. There's no shortage of choices, and it can be a little bit overwhelming which themes to use. And there's loads of paid options, loads of free options, but the one that I've settled on in recent time is one called Astra, because it's pretty much got everything that you need to create a membership site. It's free. There is a pro version if you want to upgrade. There's a few extra features, but they're not absolutely necessary. They make it good, they make it a little bit better, but they're not absolutely necessary. So for now, we're just going to install the free version of Astra that's on WordPress. So let's install it. And we're just going to activate it. And if we quickly visit the front of the site, you'll see there's an immediate difference. It's a lot simpler layout, a lot cleaner. We've got this bar at the top where we can add the logo for the site, and then we're going to have the navigation here. And there's a block here for the content. And then there's a sidebar. So if you remember, we were looking at a 2020 theme. It was just one column content, which is great for blogging, but not so great for creating a membership site where you may want to have a sidebar with content and navigation in there. So let's go back into our membership site, back into our WordPress, and we're going to go to our plugins, and we're actually going to install a new plugin. So as you can see, there's no plugins on this site just yet. We're going to go and search for FastFlow. So this is where we're going to install all our plugins that we need from. So basically, let's install this now. So you'll see there's quite a number of plugins that we actually have, but we'll install these through this single plugin here. So this is FastFlow. This is a dashboard plugin. We're going to install that, and then we're going to activate it. And you'll see over here that we now have this FastFlow option, and there's an option here for FastTags, which I'll explain more in a separate video, but for now we're just going to visit the FastFlow plugin. And what we need to do is actually add the license. So if you come into license, you're just going to paste your license key in there and activate it. So that license key is now activated, and then if we go to the add-ons page, you'll see all the add-ons that you have available on your license. If you don't have any here, there will be available on this available tab, and this will tell you which add-ons you can actually purchase or upgrade for. Now I also have free add-ons here, and we're going to be using these in conjunction with Fast members. So there's various autoresponder integrations. ClickFunnels is here, Fast Beaver Control, which I'll explain in another video. Amazon Web Services, one for controlling blocks in Gutenberg, which I'll explain again. But for now, we're going to look at some of these recommended ones as well. So these are basically recommended plugins that are available on WordPress. These are third-party developers, so we don't develop these, but we have tested these and we update this constantly. If any of these plugins stop working, then we'll remove them. But for now, these are solid plugins that have been working for years. There's no reason they should stop working. And the reason they're here is because we have tested them. So one of the big drawbacks with WordPress, I mean, there's pros and cons, obviously. The pros are that it's open source, it's fantastic, there's lots of development going on. The cons are sometimes development doesn't get carried over, doesn't continue, plugins become incompatible, developers don't update them. It can be frustrating. So when you don't know which plugins to use and you're searching for reliable plugins that are constantly updated, it can be a bit of a needle in a haystack situation. So what we are trying to do here is simplify that by having a section here of recommended plugins that we know work, so that you're not going to get conflicts when you install any of these. And these, you'll know, if you've been using WordPress for quite a while, you'll recognize some of these. For example, WordFence, Yoast, WooCommerce. Then there's a few here that you may not be aware of, such as this Post SMTP plugin, which is kind of become essential for us. It gives us a log of the emails that are sent out on our site. It lets you integrate with Amazon SES and SendGrid, and it's generally a very useful plugin. There's a few other plugins: caching, duplication of posts, a blank slate, which I'll show you in another video, login and logout menu. But for now, we're just going to install this Post SMTP, okay? So that's active, and then we're going to come into our licensed plugins. We're going to install FastMember and activate. And then we're going to go into our settings on the FastFlow dashboard itself. You'll see a notification for Postman. We can ignore that for now. And here we can actually add a logo. So when your site members visit the default WordPress login page, we can change the logo here, and we can also hide the admin bar so that when your members are logged in, if they're not admins, you don't really want them to see this bar at the top. So if we choose the hide the admin bar, and so we're going to use our FastFlow logo for this site. We're just going to save those settings. So I'll give you a quick example of what this actually looks like if we visit the login page when we're not a member. So we come to login, and you see that has now changed. And that's quite a useful feature just for the branding of your site, and it will also link back to the homepage of your site instead of linking to WordPress.org. So now that's set up, we want to go back into our site and we can review the Post SMTP plugins. I'm going to create a separate video for that so you know how to set those up. But basically, we're ready to use FastMember and we're ready to start building our membership site.